We are back on Nittany game week. Don't let the point spread fool you. The Nittany Lions are almost 2-touchdown favorites and have dominated this head-to-head series. The Terps stuck close with Michigan for a while and are fully capable of lighting up a scoreboard. Just the kind of intriguing opponent Coach Paterno and Coach Bradley love to examine. And guys, what do you see that says fear the turtle, and in what areas do you think they can turn them into turtle soup?
Well, I don't ever fear a turtle because that's the one animal I can outrun. But there's some good things to think about this weekend, and this is a tougher challenge than people think. It's going to be a difficult game. But let's talk about the running backs. Penn State has freshman running backs. Maryland has freshman running backs, redshirt freshman running backs, kind of a thunder and lightning with Hemby being the fast guy, Littleton being the 235-pound bruiser. Now, since they've joined the Big Ten, Maryland has given Penn State some problems. Prior to the Big Ten, 0-21 at Penn State, 2-2 since joining the Big Ten. And if you look at all the guys know each other because there's so many guys from the same area, this turns into a very, very physical game and one that becomes very personal. So let's talk about the X's and O's of it. Know when you're watching the game, is 31 in the game, is 24 in the game. He's the speed guy. He's the guy that's the receiver. 31 is the bruiser. Take a look at Hemby getting out in the open on this one. Gets into that hole. You see they do a nice job getting that hole, Tom, and then
you can see his speed right there. And he's got great vision, too, when you watch him.
Yeah, it makes the right cut, and off he goes. Now, let's talk about what they do off that run game. Now they come at you with Tom's favorite, the dreaded three-level play-action pass.
I'm not a fan of this three-level flood.
Good hard fake front side, deep clear, 1 to 2 to 3.
You had to ruin my day, didn't you?
Yes. And this is different because they bring the backside guy, Tom.
Yes, they do, which makes it even harder.
Yeah, and he does a nice job keeping his eyes downfield and find that guy. Now, you come off that, they've got a little triple option type thing going where now they're going to bring the wide out across to get all these guys running that way. They're going to bring the tight end who's really more of a receiver. And now the tailbacks out here, they read this guy, Tom, and now you know that gives you fits.
Well, it does give you fits. The thing that you got to remember, that motion's a little tricky at times because that's just trying to create some bad eyes. That's just a distraction going across and can create some problems because when you're doing your coverage, who's got who now, too?
Yeah, if you go to the next one, but that creates a lot of traffic for you. Go to the next one now. We'll talk about what they do with what he does a great job when he scrambles, keeping his eyes downfield. Defenders cannot come out of coverage too fast.
Well, they can. I think it's a great illustration when you watch this play of how good he is with his eyes.
And then really does a nice job resetting his feet, which is the trickiest part. Finds the guys downfield. They follow the scramble rules and onto that. And so let's talk now about them defensively. They are a 3-4 type defense. Two big outside linebackers, Tom, and they get this guy involved. He's half run, half pass defender, so they can get a lot of guys around the ball.
And they can. And these two outside edge guys are keys because they can play defensive end. They can drop. They can do a lot of things. They're big people.
Yeah, and they're very experienced. A lot of these guys have played against each other the last 2 years when Penn State and Maryland have split the last two games in this series. A lot of guys have played both. Now, let's talk about third down. Has been a problem for them. One of the things that they did last week, or against Michigan State, they went to a little bit of spy, which I think with Sean Clifford's running ability, I think you'll see them go to some man coverage, safeties high, but have a guy watching Sean.
I like the man under too deep, except for one thing, when that quarterback can run. Yep. Now they force you into the three-man rush because the spy. Yep. But what I always say, can the spy tackle the quarterback?
Yeah, and this guy does a nice job chasing him down and forcing him to throw it away. And last thing we talk about, one of their corners, Bennett, number 2, since the beginning of 2021 has led the country in pass breakups, also blocks kicks. They do a nice job getting over the top here and bringing him off the edge. And this wing is stuck with the 2-for-1 there.
This wing, though, better understand, that's a bad technique right there. You step down and punch out.
But you got to get your hand on him. Does a nice job coming off that edge and blocking the kick. And let's hope Penn State's kicking a lot of PATs on Saturday and that none of them get blocked in. Todd, nothing ever blocks you from greatness.
No, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And Jake Pinniger has actually been pretty good. So the kicking game kind of straightened itself out with Penn State if they need it against the Terps. All right, definitely a dangerous offensive team coming to Happy Valley. It's almost the time of the show when we catch up with our Impact interview guests. Viewers still buzzing about our interview from last episode with Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin. If you missed this bit of info, one of Coach Tomlin's favorite players growing up in the Tidewater area of Virginia is a former Nittany Lions running back.
We're not trying to be some mystical guy that's not familiar to us or in our communities, we're trying to be like the guy that's just a few years older than us. In my case, it was guys like DJ Dozier, who really made us want to be Nittany Lions and want to be running backs.
Yeah, we spent an awesome 15 minutes with Coach Tomlin talking about college football and the people that influenced him in his football career. Make sure you check out the entire interview at NittanyGameWeek.com. And you know what? Coach got us thinking. We should call up DJ Dozier as our next Impact interview, and that's exactly what we did. We'll ask the former Nittany Lion about Coach Tomlin's comments and discuss his past as a two-sport star when we come back on Nittany Game Week.